There are those who said this day would never come. What are they to say now?
Wait, this is the wrong franchise. Never mind. The point stands. For the first time, the folks over at Sony PlayStation have brought one of their most successful live service games to Xbox, and while I've already played a fair bit on PC when the game released, we're here with a full review of the Xbox Series version. Brace for impact and prepare to defend Super Earth and manage democracy itself. This is the XboxEra review for Helldivers 2 on Xbox. When I first played Helldivers 2 last year at launch, I described it as the most Xbox-assed Xbox game PlayStation Studios had ever released. And now, thanks to the stars aligning, it's finally happened. It's on Xbox. If you've been living under a rock, or are perhaps wondering if the game is worth your time, let me fill you in. Helldivers 2 is a cooperative third-person shooter that channels plenty of the satire of Starship Troopers as you take on the role of a Helldiver, a soldier that has pledged their life to defend Super Earth and manage democracy. As such, you'll be bringing freedom and liberty to a number of alien races, from the bug-like Terminids to the terrifying cyborg automatons, as well as the game's most recent addition, the Illuminate. Once you've completed a brief and highly amusing tutorial, you'll be given access to your very own Super Destroyer, which you get to name, probably something to do with freedom or justice or liberty. It's your call. It's from this orbiting base you'll fire yourself from a Hell pod, descending from orbit to come crashing to a planet's surface, ready to share the core pillars of Super Earth society from the end of a rifle to anyone in range. Your Super Destroyer acts as a lobby of sorts, where your fellow Helldivers can join you to form a 4-player squad. Here you'll be able to manage your loadouts, with each Helldiver able to equip a primary and secondary weapon before deploying to combat. These range from assault rifles and submachine guns, shotguns and even energy-based weapons. There are also special weapons you can call into the field via Strategems. I'll get onto those in a second, and you can grind out upgrades for your Super Destroyer for more advanced kit to use in the field. Suffice to say, there's a lot to do and a lot to unlock. With the game being available on PC and PlayStation for over a year, there are plenty of different war bonds to check out that provide access to more advanced gear. War bonds are the premium paid-for content in Helldivers 2. Everyone gets a free welcome pack and a token to redeem one premium war bond if you bought the Super Citizen edition of the game. For what it's worth, I'd recommend unlocking the Democratic Detonation bond, as it contains some pretty cool stuff. Unless you want the Halo war bond, we can't blame you if you do, because it's also got some pretty cool stuff. Successful missions will reward you with medals, and these can be exchanged for items in the war bond that you're currently progressing. To get going in Helldivers 2, once you've assembled your squad, you'll gather around the Galactic war table to examine where best to deploy. For Helldivers just starting out, the game allows for different difficulties, ranging from the standard easy, medium, challenging and hard, all the way up to extreme, suicide mission and super Helldive. Good luck with that one. As everyone is just starting out on Xbox, I'd recommend starting on hard or challenging if you're an experienced third-person shooter fan and you have a team of pals to Helldive with. The Galactic war table on your Super Destroyer will show the different fronts to which you can deploy, be it taking on the Terminids, the Automatons or the Illuminate, and missions range from Horde-style kill everything to more complex excursions, tasking you with protecting civilians or scientists, or arming and deploying ICBMs that are siloed planet-side. Once deployed, prepare for utter carnage, especially on higher difficulties. Much of the joy to be found in Helldivers 2 comes from the unflinching dedication to the premise of Super Earth and managed democracy, and how hilariously dedicated our fellow Helldivers are. Everything from voice lines, propaganda in the menus, and the triumphant and utterly brilliant music add to the feel of the world in which this all takes place. Once deployed, I can pretty much guarantee you will die, and more often than not at the hands of your fellow patriots. Friendly fire is always on, and with all the ordnance going off, be it someone's rover guard dog laser drone or a misplaced 500 kilogram bomb, you're more than likely going to get blown up, shot, dismembered or brutally killed while serving Super Earth. Trust me, it adds to the charm and promotes teamwork. During every mission, depending upon what you've unlocked, you'll be able to use stratagems to call in ordnance from your super destroyer in orbit. From ammo supplies to special weapons and vehicles or incredibly destructive airstrikes, they are vital to your combat effectiveness and overall success. Calling them in is a little akin to playing Dance Dance Revolution on your D-pad, and when you screw up in a tense moment, it makes it all the more hectic. Just make sure you call out to your team where you're deploying that orbital strike, okay? When you've stripped back the objectives, which can vary, basically becomes an extraction as you call for your dropship to come pick you up. Escaping with all the resources you've found planetside, keep an eye out for samples, they are vital to upgrading your super destroyer and unlocking more powerful support weaponry, is tense, hilarious and often chaotic stuff, with everyone gathered on a helipad defending like mad as the dropship makes its way in. During those few minutes, the enemy forces will typically throw everything they have at you, and believe me, you will feel triumphant as you dive into the dropship at the last possible second, or you'll taste the bitterness of defeat when killed at the worst possible moment and miss the dropship entirely. A big shout out has to be given to the approach and openness of developer Arrowhead, who have formed a genuinely strong and surprisingly welcoming community around Helldivers 2. While they don't get everything right, with game-breaking bugs on occasion when a big update drops, or when they nerf a particularly decent weapon here and there, their hearts are in the right place. Also, ignore the clickbait headlines. The PlayStation community doesn't care that Xbox gamers are joining, outside of that they're happy to have more soldiers to defend Super Earth. Thanks to crossplay, no cross progression sadly, they're gonna get that. And as of me writing this review, the player count for Helldivers 2 has tripled. Who says Xbox gamers don't buy games? There are some minor gripes. Performance on Xbox Series S does have a 60 FPS mode, isn't absolutely rock solid, with some minor drops during the more frantic on-screen action, and it can be pretty awkward using the D-pad to call in stratagems whilst aiming and staying alive at the same time, but again, one feels that's kind of the point. In short, just like it was at launch, Helldivers 2 is a fantastic video game, one on which you can hop on for a quick mission to just complete a daily objective, or team up with your besties as you settle in for a long night of patriotism, camaraderie and impromptu comedy when that misplaced airstrike hits. It's pure, unadulterated chaos, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this Helldivers 2 video review, be sure to hit like, hit subscribe, check out XboxEra.com, and if you love what we do, consider supporting us directly on Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/XboxEra. And we'll see you next time.